literally just gonna ramble what I think about the console itself after having like, what, 2 days of owning it now, and it's a pretty decent console. I do think that, well, for first things first, putting it in this dock, right? You'd be like, okay, it's in there, it's safe, it's secure. Way too loose. It's too loose. I don't like how loose it is. But yeah, the console itself, really cool, really dandy, but I don't think it is... I don't know, it's just not that much going for it. And that's... I'm saying that as someone who has a Nintendo Switch 1, which it's over there in front of me. I'm not gonna go and grab it. But yeah, it's a decent upgrade. I will say it's a decent upgrade if you have a Switch 1 or if you want to get a Nintendo Switch console. Just buy this one because this is the same thing, but it's pretty much just the same thing, but just better. And I think that's where my issues lie with it. Whilst it's great running games like on this thing, I've tested out like a bunch of games. I'm going to talk about running games on this. But it's just that there isn't that much different for me to be like, is it really worth the price they're asking for? Because I feel like there's a few things where I'm like, this is just added on as a gimmick. This is definitely not going to return in like the next console, or just to inflate the price because they're like, we need something to make it the price we projected. There's no, this is, by the way, this isn't scripted. I'm literally just going off what my brain is telling me. I hit my microphone, but I'm going off with what my brain is telling me. So if it's incoherent and you just don't like this format of video, sorry, but this is just how I roll. Okay, this is how I roll around here. This is stuff for me to watch. Anyways, but yeah, I'm gonna go about the positives. I like the screen, although I've seen a lot of like people recently talk about how bad the screen is. What the fuck are they talking about? I honestly don't think the screen is that bad. I love how rich the colors are compared to the Switch 1. It feels higher resolution as well, and I just think that it's just a really good screen. Like, I wish it was an LCD screen. I wish it was OLED, because I feel like if you really want to ask for 300, 400 quid, an OLED screen would justify that price instead of an LCD screen. Either way, they've done well with the screen. I really like how big it is. I like how clear it is as well. And the Joy-Cons are really cool because they're magnetic. If I can do that. That's another thing. You kind of need to tear this off to really pull it out. But this is really cool. Like, you could see there, like, there's a little bit where you push out, and you could just like pull it off like that. But just the snap as well. They should have called this Nintendo Snap. I need to look at the camera more. They should have called this the Nintendo Snap. I know it would have been like a Wii U situation, but then people are like, why didn't they just call it the Switch 2? It'll just be a discourse. It's a lose-lose situation because people complaining about, oh, Switch 2, that's such an unoriginal name. But if they were to change it to something like Nintendo Snap, it'd be like, why did they call it Nintendo Snap? This is going to be Wii U again. It makes no sense. But it's like, the controllers, they snap. But yeah, I do like the Joy-Cons. I've fiddled around with them, and I will say they feel, I like the bigger size. Again, it's just the fact that this console is bigger for my big ass hand. It's just great. I actually really like that. I mean, it could size up the buttons a little bit more, and maybe make it, I don't know, slightly wider with Joy-Cons. Either way, I like the Joy-Cons. They feel great. They haven't drifted yet, so fingers crossed that they just never drift. But yeah, I really do like the way they feel. I like how weighty they feel as well. Like the weight of this console It's a nice feeling. It's quite nice to hold this compared to the Switch 1. The eShop loading in fast for once. I'm gonna open up here. I'll show it in so here. I'm gonna tap on my face. Wow, it's already loaded. And I'm gonna show like an in-game camera. Like I'm gonna show footage of that. But yeah, the fastness of this thing, it's just great that things load fast on this. It's nice. Like I was testing out No More Heroes 3, and we're gonna go into like the performance of these games because I tried out, I think 4 games. Yeah, 4 games. That being Link's Awakening, Bayonetta 3, No More Heroes 3, and Breath of the Wild, because I know those games have frame rate issues on the original Switch, especially fucking Link's Awakening and No More Heroes 3. No More Heroes 3. Oh boy. So what things do I feel like they could have done to make this worth it? It's just, well, okay, let me talk about something I don't like about it. Game share, virtual game cards, mouse controls, and just being a bit, getting a weird feeling as well. Like, I say it's a great vibe. I'm got great vibes all around for this thing. And like, I like the Switch 2. Don't get me wrong. I like it. It's night and day compared to the Switch 1. Where I feel like towards the twilight years of the Switch 1, that thing was falling apart. Despite having like great looking games like Metroid Prime Remastered and all that, that thing was falling apart. So yeah, this is like great, but there's also something else about this console that I'm just like, I would not leave you alone in a room full of inappropriate jokes. Like, I'm thinking of something really inappropriate, so I'm just like, let's not say that. But you get what I mean. There's just something about this console, I'm just like, what is it that I don't like about you? I'm not sure if that's just me searching for problems with the console to be like, yeah, there are these caveats with it, but I'm just like, there's something. I can't put my tongue on it, but there's something. But yeah, mouse controls is a neat idea, having like mouse controls on this thing. Although let me just show you. You see how thin? You see how thin this thing is? I'm gonna put it behind this because black on black doesn't really work. But see this? You see how big my hand is? This is like, if I could just hold it properly. That's not gonna, it doesn't work properly. It's uncomfortable. It's nice that it pretty much glides on every surface, and with the wrist straps, it's cool that it pretty much goes on any surface, so it's like really nice and smooth and all that. I just don't think it's a really unnecessary feature to be added into this console, and I just think you really didn't need to add that. You really didn't need to add mouse controls, because I'll guarantee you mouse controls ain't all that. You need a keyboard if you really want good mouse controls, and there's a full-size mouse to really get the knack of it, or just like get a good feel of it. Because using Joy-Con, as much as I like these ones that come with this console, these are not good for mice. As mice, they're not good. But next thing I'm going to talk about that I don't like is game share, because I don't think it's explained properly. You would think, oh, I can, it's like DS download play. You can, I can send out a thing through one of the games that is available, and you just, download the game and we'll play together. But No. No, it's just streaming. You're just streaming a game to somebody, and they act as your player too. And I think that's just kind of lame. It's just kind of lame. And there's only a very few select titles. There's only very few. You would think Smash Brothers would be on there. It's not. It isn't, and it's just a bit strange that it's like that. Also, by the way, that's just my thoughts on Game Chat. It's just kind of lame. But the virtual game card system, I don't like it. I don't think it's explained well, nor is it. It's just dumb. Because in order to play games, say you got a Switch one, you give it to your family member, right? And they're like, oh, I'm gonna play No More Heroes 3, for example, but it's already installed on this console, right? It's loaded onto the console. You would be like, oh, let me send you a virtual game card of it. And it's like, yeah, okay. But then, if you were to play it at the same time, so let's say that, you would have to re-download the whole game onto here. You would have to take the virtual game card out of your family member's console or friend's console, and then load it onto your thing. And let's say you got it digitally, like I did when I got it all the way back in 2021. You would have to practically have 2 copies of the game if you both want like to play at the same time. It's just dumb to me, because why aren't these downloaded locally on the console? Why does it have to be only installed one time on both, like, in one console? Why can't I have No More Heroes 3 installed on here and installed on my Switch 1? It's just a bit stupid to me that it works that way. And it's just like, it's like, I understand the idea, I understand it, but at the same time, it's fucking dumb. Because I want to be able to just have my games available on both consoles just so I can look at both of them. But no, I have to wait. I have to sit there and wait for No More Heroes 3 to download onto here. But then I have to go give this back to my sister because I bought this for my sister. And now I have to go back on the Switch 1 and re-download the whole fucking game there. It's like, why can't I just have it downloaded locally on the console itself to just play the fucking game? Like, I get the idea, well, so I could just be me being dumb and just not really seeing the true idea itself. But from my understanding, just let me download games locally on the fucking console so I can just have it on both consoles. It's not that fucking hard. It isn't that hard, honestly. But yeah, virtual game cards, game share, and the mouse controls are like some of my 3 biggest gripes of this console. I'm not even gonna talk about game chat. I have no reason to play it, to use it, because I barely have any friends. I say barely. I don't have friends on my console to do that, and I don't play online. I don't play online. This console's mainly for just my action games, my single player action games, and Mario Kart with my family and friends whenever they come over. That's literally it. That's all I use the Switch for. But I do want to use it a bit more often this time around. But yeah, game chat has no use for me because I have Discord. I'll just use Discord. And another thing, it's only free until March next year. Only a few months of like availability. That's like what? 9 months. That's 9 months of availability for game chat for everybody, and then you gotta pay online to use it. I doubt many people will be using it. I'm gonna now talk about the games that I've tested out on here and talk about Mario Kart World because we need some gameplay. I'm gonna put like comparisons of both the Switch 1 and the Switch 2 performances of both games, and you can see it's quite like noticeable what games are like getting a performance boost from the console, and it's like, man, this is really good. This is amazing. I can play Normal Heroes 3, explore the open world without the frame rate killing itself every time I'm trying to do something. And Link's Awakening, the water actually works. The water is actually like fine. Breath of the Wild, although I didn't really notice too much of a difference with Breath of the Wild, I just kind of was like, it kind of looks the same. Maybe I just have to play the Switch 2 version of the game. I'm not paying that much. I am not paying the amount they're asking me to play that. I have the game physically, and I don't want to upgrade. I'm not paying whatever they're asking me. Nintendo. So yeah, I'm not sure if the Switch 2 version has the specific like things I'm looking for, which is mainly just an FPS boost. But yeah, Bayonetta 3, I really should have went into like a more bigger level instead of just a prologue, one of the prologue chapters. But there's a cutscene there where frame rate drops in the Switch 1 version, and if you're playing this on Switch 2, it's a consistent frame rate, which is really nice and really is great to be able to be like viewing these cutscenes without like the frame rate dropping at all. And yeah, that's mainly just it. I'm gonna do a TikTok where it's like both Nintendo Switch 2 and Nintendo Switch comparisons of No More Heroes and all that on my TikTok, so you know, people will be like, oh wow, okay, this is actually pretty neat. But yeah, this is, again, it's a decent console. Mario Kart World now. I say it's a decent console. Let me go back, let me backtrack because my brain's not working. It's hot, tired. But yeah, I wish there was a way to, you know, learn more about the system's capabilities. Except I have to pay $7.99 to do that. I don't know why they locked the tech demo, essentially, for the Switch 2 behind a $7.99 paywall, or even, if you're in America, $10 to learn about the console and what it does. What the fuck is your problem? PlayStation, for how many... Yeah, since the PS4, they dropped Astro's Playroom, where if you add the PlayStation camera with your PS4, you learn about the console's capabilities there with like the controller, see what it all does. PS5, you had Astro's, I forgot the name of the back-end title with the PS5, but even then, you had that for free. It's like, you got shown off so much of the console's like things, like the SSD, how fast it loads everything, the controllers, like capabilities of the haptic feedback and everything, and the control, like the trigger locks and all that. You had all of that for free. Why the fuck would anyone want to buy a $7.99 tech demo for this? What? Like, seriously, what? We already spent £300 to £400 on this thing, this console. You want us to put extra for a software that's only going to get used once after I've learned what the console does? Nintendo, are you Ubisoft? Like, what the fuck are you doing? It's just crazy. Anyway, speaking of Ubisoft, let's talk about Mario Kart World. Mario Kart World is a good game. I think it's pretty decent. I think it's not my favorite, but I will say that it's growing to be my favorite because I'm way better at it than I am with Mario Kart 8. I fucking suck at Mario Kart 8. I say I suck. I just get bullied a lot. So it takes my enjoyment out of the game. But Mario Kart World is a fun time. I generally do enjoy the just racing around in like Grand Prix, the knockout tour, although that fucking stresses me out. Again, I don't play online, so I'm not sure what the online experience is like with this game, but Mario Kart World is just a fun time in general. I like that you don't have to have like some sort of meta build with your karts anymore. Obviously, there still might be in the game, but it's not so emphasized. I think that you just pick a character you like playing as, the Mario enemy, or just like, I don't know, Rosalina, Baby Mario, Bowser. Like, you pick any of the characters there, pick a costume, which there was a fuck ton of costumes in this, which is great. There's like, what, 103? That's amazing. You should have slotted them in. The character select, I will say, is the fucking worst thing in the whole world. You had it perfect in 8 with all the characters just in the square like that. Why did you do it the way that you did in Mario Kart World? It generally sucks dick. Like, seriously, Nintendo, what the fuck is wrong with you? like what lead brain damage did you get? What level did you get to design it this way? Seriously. But enough of harping on them. Let's keep praising the game. It's just great. I really enjoy racing around. I like how the karts feel. I love how racing feels in general. It just feels great to play and just to really like get a feel for. It really feels great to just race, jump, do tricks. I love that you can do like you don't have to do like a directional trick or whatever. You could just be like, oh, I'm gonna trick in the air now, like multiple times. It's like faster to do. And just the courses look beautiful, especially Rainbow Road. Holy man. Holy, they killed it. The soundtrack as well. Wow, they killed it. They fucking killed it with the soundtrack. There's so many good remixes of so many like iconic Mario songs. One of my favorites being like, it's such a like strange one. One of my favorite Mario tracks in like in all the games is the file select theme from Mario 64. And when I heard that they did a remix of that in Mario Kart World, I was like, holy, and I heard it. I was like, what the fuck did they do? What drugs, what mushrooms did they take to make a soundtrack as good as this?
I'm tired.
Honestly, if one of the best things to come out of this game is like, if I was to make like a list of the best things to come out, the soundtrack is like the best. Like, it's at the top. It's at the top of the list. Genuinely, just like fucking A tier. It's a shame there's not that much content in the game. The game has Grand Prix, has Knockout Tour, has Versus Battle, which I know people don't like, and I haven't tried it out because I don't like Versus Battle in any Mario Kart. But yeah, it has all this stuff, time trials and all that, multiplayer. It's got all that. And that's about it. That's about it. The free roam is like cool, I guess, but I'm not there for free roam. I don't care about an open world Mario Kart. Like, it's a neat idea, and I feel like the execution's pretty done well. It's done pretty well. I just don't use it a lot, often, and I'm only doing it now after I unlocked all the costumes and all that, so I can unlock mirror mode and never touch mirror mode because I fucking hate mirror mode. But yeah, there isn't much to do. And I'm kind of like, I'm not saying worried, but I'm also kind of concerned if this is about it. I know they will update the game. I know they've been making updates to the online and stuff, and I heard that the most recent update really pissed a lot of people off. So at least they're making they're making steps. But yeah, I think that it just needs to be a bit more. And I also got rid of Diddy Kong, which is like, he's like one of my mains in Mario Kart 8. What the fuck? Like, seriously? You gave him a whole new design for the new Donkey Kong game. You couldn't just put that in the fucking new, like, in this new Mario Kart? Do I have to really wait like a few months for DLC? Hell, years for DLC? Nintendo. I don't like that. So yeah, it's just like, it's a good game. It's got like good enough content in there, but it's just not enough. And it's just like, open world is unnecessary. You don't need to make it open world. And there really needs to be like a classic Grand Prix. So I don't like doing the intermission stuff. And I would say, if you're gonna technically force people into doing the intermission things, Knockout Tour is right there. That's literally full of that. The highway races and all that, with a mix of some of the old tracks. Just make that like your fucking thing. Just put a classic Grand Prix mode or something like that, and everything will be hunky-dory. No one wants to do the fucking long-ass intermissions because it's just like boring. It's just boring driving in a straight line or like a few turns in here and there. I had a music band, so but yeah, I think that's most of my thoughts covered for the Switch 2. Yeah, that's pretty much it, I guess. Aside from like a few things like the wobbly dock, game share, game chat, virtual game cards, like I'd seriously would rather have things downloaded locally onto the console, and then I can download locally onto my Nintendo Switch 1, and then I don't have to keep fucking being like, oh, I have to re-download this game quickly, hold on, I have to lend a game card to this one. It's just like, no, I don't want to do that. It's long, not worth it, because it's like, oh, I got a minor performance enhancement. Yay! I love this thing. But yeah, Nintendo Switch 2, I think it's a worthy upgrade. It's definitely a worthy upgrade, but you really need to, I feel like, if you were a Switch 1 user, but you didn't use it often at all, like me, I mean, it was my sister's, so I pay respects. I'm respectable by not using it. Oh, I just have no interest. But like, if you already have like a few games on your Switch, go ahead and upgrade, because it's like, it's worth it for the performance enhancements and just the overall feel and all that. But if this is your first Nintendo console in a while, if you didn't get Switch 1, wait a little bit. Just wait until price drops happen, so like Christmas time or whatever, and wait till a few more games come out. A few more Switch 2 exclusive games come out, because right now there's only really like ports and remasters and stuff like that, like Yakuza 0 Director's Cut and Cyberpunk. Although I heard Cyberpunk runs really well on this. Screen just turned off. Yeah, you know what? My hand's hurting after holding it. But yeah, I heard Cyberpunk 2077 runs really well on the Switch 2, so, and the full game is on the cart as well, so that's just amazing that CD Projekt Red was able to do that. And I wonder if they had like a porting team helping them. But yeah, it's surprising that Cyberpunk even runs that good on the Switch 2. I'm not gonna buy it for myself because I already bought it on PC and PS5, so I have no reason to. But I'm excited to see how Final Fantasy VII Remake runs on the Switch 2, and hopefully we get to see just more other games come onto the Switch 2. That is like full game on carts as well. Unless companies want to cheap out and do virtual game key cards, which kind of sucks. So, but yeah, I think that's all my thoughts. Unless there's something I'm missing. Nah. So yeah, I think it's worth the upgrade, but at the same time, maybe wait a little bit. Wait a little bit till more stuff come out, and once it gets more updates and quality of life stuff, because there's a few things that just a little bit buggy about it. But yeah, that's my thoughts. That's me rambling done, and my incoherent thoughts has finally spilled out. So hopefully I can structure it well within the video. So yeah, I'll say what I say at the end of my all my videos. This is such a shit. This is why people write scripts. Anyways, whether it's the day, night, or afternoon, stay safe out there, and yeah, leave a like and subscribe. And I mean, I gave you my advice. Normally I have advice at the end of these things, but I gave you my advice. Wait till the Switch 2 is on sale to really purchase it. And yeah. I gotta take a shit.